Welcome back to my channel today. We explore the value of specific coins, the top 4 most valuable U. Abraham wheat penny coins value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the 1952 D wheat penny. If you're into numismatics or just a fan of coin collecting, stick around as we break down its value, especially for one in fine condition, and what you can expect in today's market. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin content. Alright, let's take a closer look at the 1952 wheat penny. The 1952 D wheat penny is part of the iconic series of coins that were minted from 1909 to 1958. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. These coins are made of 95% copper, with the obverse featuring the famous image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, and the reverse showing 2 stalks of wheat. Condition plays a major role in the value of any coin, and the 1952 D penny is no exception. The term fine condition means the coin shows moderate wear, but still retains some of its key details. On a coin in fine condition, you should still be able to see Lincoln's facial features clearly, and the wheat stalks on the reverse should be distinguishable. If you're wondering how the value differs by grade, an uncirculated 1952 D wheat penny can be worth more than a fine or even very fine example. But today, we are focusing on what you might expect for a coin in fine condition. Now, let's talk about the value. As of 2024, a 1952 D wheat penny in fine condition typically sells for around 10 to 20 cents depending on the market. It's not considered a rare coin, but it still holds some appeal for collectors due to its age and the overall popularity of the wheat penny series. However, if you come across a 1952 DP in better than average fine condition, or one with unique characteristics, you might see it fetch a little more, especially if there's a premium buyer interested in completing their collection. So, why do collectors still value these coins, even though they aren't worth a lot? For many, it's about the history and the nostalgia. The wheat penny design was in circulation for decades, and they offer a glimpse into the past, especially for those of us fascinated by vintage US currency. So, while the 1952 D wheat penny in fine condition isn't going to make you a millionaire, it's still a nice piece to add to your collection, and it's a reminder of American coinage history. And who knows, if you have one tucked away in a drawer, it might be worth a little more than you think. Next up, the 1947 wheat penny, especially one in a unique black color shade condition. Stay tuned as we uncover its value in today's market. The 1947 wheat penny is a sought-letter coin in the world of numismatics. It's part of the famous series of Lincoln pennies, minted from 1909 to 1958. The S mint mark indicates that this penny was struck in San Francisco, making it a little more scarce compared to other years and mints. Now, what makes the 1947 special is its rarity and the condition it's found in. The standard 1947 S is not the most expensive penny out there, but if it's in excellent shape, particularly a high-grade specimen like MS65 or above, you could be looking at a nice payday. But there's a twist here, a feature that's catching collectors' condition. So, what exactly does it mean when we say the coin is in a black color shade condition? Well, this usually refers to a coin that has undergone some kind of oxidation or toning, giving it a darker, sometimes blackened appearance. This can happen naturally over time due to exposure to air, moisture, or other environmental factors. Some collectors actually seek out these naturally toned coins for their aesthetic appeal. Coins that have aged or toned in a unique way can sometimes fetch more than their regular counterparts. But the key here is the overall eye appeal and how the toning has affected the coin's surface. Now, let's talk about the value. If you're fortunate enough to have a 1947 S wheat penny with black toning in excellent condition, how much could it be worth today? Well, in general, a 1947 S wheat penny in average circulated condition is valued between 15 and 30 cents. But here's where it gets interesting. In mint state conditions like MS65 or higher, the value can skyrocket to $10 or more. And if you have one with that striking black-toned appearance in pristine condition, you might see values reach anywhere from $20 to $50, depending on the level of interest from collectors. Coins with rare toning effects, like the black shade you're seeing here, could push the value even higher. Some collectors are willing to pay a premium for these aesthetically unique pieces, especially if the toning enhances the coin's visual appeal without detracting from its details. So, how can you determine the value of your own 1947 CS wheat penny with black toning? The first thing you want to do is get an accurate grade of the coin. Grading is crucial, as it plays a significant role in how much your coin is worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. For example, an MS63 coin is in decent shape, while MS65 is considered a gem-quality coin with few imperfections. Coins with black toning will also be evaluated based on how the toning affects the overall appeal and the coin's surface. If you think your 1947's wheat penny could be valuable, consider taking it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. You can also check auction sites, online marketplaces, or coin shops to see what similar coins are selling for. So, if you're lucky enough to have a 1947 wheat penny in a unique black-toned condition, it could be worth more than you think, especially if it's in great shape. The value of these pennies today is a reflection of their scarcity and the growing interest in toned coins. Next up, the 1956D Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition. If you've got one of these in your collection, or are just curious about its value, stick around as we break down how much it's worth in today's market. Now, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny is part of a large series that was minted from 1909 to 1958. This particular penny, bearing the D mint mark, was struck at the Denver Mint. While the 1956 itself isn't considered rare, its condition can significantly impact its value, especially when it's in extra fine condition. Extra fine, or XF, means the coin shows some wear but still retains much of its original details. You'll notice some light wear on the high points, like Lincoln's cheek, but the features are still crisp and defined. The reverse, featuring the famous wheat stalks, should also show very little wear. So, how much is a 1956D wheat penny worth in extra fine condition today? According to recent market trends, the value of this coin typically ranges from $1.50 to $3.50. Now, I know that might not sound like a huge amount, but keep in mind that this value can vary depending on the exact condition, the coin's appeal to collectors, and the current demand. If your 1956D wheat penny is in better condition, say a full red or even a higher grade like AU or MS, you could see values significantly higher. But in terms of extra fine, $1.50 to $3.50 is the sweet spot for today's market. Now, if you're wondering how to get the most accurate value for your penny, I always recommend checking out auction sites. dealers, and even apps like PCGS or NGC for up-to-date listings. Also remember that the value of any coin can fluctuate over time due to factors like rarity, demand, and the state of the market. So, if you've got a 1956 D. Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition, it's definitely worth taking a closer look at it. While it may not make you rich, it's still a piece of American history that has lasting value in the world of numismatics. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. This particular penny, without a mint mark, is a favorite among collectors. So, how much is it worth today in extra fine condition? Let's break it down and take a closer look. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was struck right after the war, and it's part of a huge series that ran from 1909 to 1958. Now, this penny doesn't have a mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While the 1945 penny is not rare by itself, its condition can make all the difference when determining its value, especially if it's in extra fine or XF condition. In extra fine condition, you'll see a coin that's been in circulation but is still in really good shape. You might notice some wear, especially on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat stalks on the reverse. But overall, the coin retains a lot of detail, and the features are still clearly visible. It's a step up from a coin that's seen heavy use, but not quite as pristine as one in higher grades like uncirculated. So, how much is a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark worth in extra fine condition? Well, the value of this penny typically ranges from $1.50 to $3 in today's market. While it's not a super rare coin, the demand for these older wheat pennies, especially in nice condition, keeps their value steady. Now, if you're wondering what might make a 1945 penny more valuable, the grade is the biggest factor. A coin that's graded higher, like almost uncirculated AU or mint state MS, could be worth a lot more, sometimes reaching $10 to $15 or higher, depending on the quality and demand. But in extra fine, you're looking at that $1.50 to $3 range. Remember, coin values can fluctuate over time based on market conditions and collector interest. To get a precise value for your 1945 penny, check auction sites like eBay or consult with professional grading services like NGC or PCGS. Even though the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark might not be a huge moneymaker, it's still a great coin to add to your collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's an iconic piece of American history. First up, the 1917 D. Lincoln wheat penny. But here's the catch. This coin is in dirty condition, which is something we'll definitely need to talk about. So, what's the value of a 1917 D penny in this state? Let's dive in and find out. Now, the 1917 D Lincoln wheat penny is an important coin in the wheat penny series. It was struck at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark comes from. This coin is a part of the WWI era, and while it's not considered particularly rare, it can still hold some value, especially when it's in great condition. However, this coin is in what we call dirty condition. You can see it's covered in grime, dirt, and possibly some old tarnish. While it might seem like the dirt could lower its value, it's important to know that even a dirty coin can have some worth, especially when it's an older piece like this one. When we talk about coin grading, dirty condition generally means the coin hasn't been properly cleaned or cared for. The dirt can obscure important details, and in numismatics, cleaning a coin improperly can actually lower its value. So, it's better to leave it as is and let the dirt be a part of its history. A 1917D in this kind of condition likely falls into a grade somewhere between good and very good. So, what's the market value of a 1917D Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition? Based on current trends, this coin is worth somewhere between $2 to $4. While it may not be as valuable as a clean, higher-grade specimen, it's still a piece of history, and collectors do pay for the year and mint mark, even in less than ideal condition. Now, if you're hoping to get more for your coin, the best option is to have it properly graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even though it's dirty, they'll assess its actual grade and give you a more accurate value based on its condition. One important note here: do not clean your coin. Cleaning a coin improperly can seriously reduce its value, and numismatists generally recommend leaving dirt and tarnish as is. A coin's natural patina tells a story, and collectors appreciate that history. So, while a dirty 1917D Lincoln wheat penny won't make you a fortune, it still holds value, especially considering its age and the fact that it's from the WWI era. And if you have it in a higher grade, you could be looking at even more money, so always check your coins carefully. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. But here's the catch: this penny is in bad condition. So, how much is it worth in today's market? Let's talk about it. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is a part of a massive series that ran from 1909 to 1958. This coin, struck in 1937, doesn't have a mint mark, meaning it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. While the 1937 penny itself isn't particularly rare, its value can depend heavily on its condition, and if your coin is in bad shape, that's definitely going to impact how much it's worth. Now, when we say bad condition, we're talking about a coin with significant wear, scratches, and perhaps some discoloration. The details of Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse are worn down, and the reverse, featuring the wheat talks, is likely difficult to make out. It may even have some corrosion or other damage, which can make it harder to grade. In terms of grading, this coin would likely fall in the fair or good category, meaning it's seen a lot of circulation and wear. A coin in fair condition has major details worn away but still retains some recognizable features, while a good condition coin will be worn but still legible and identifiable. So what's the value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition today? Based on recent market trends, it typically ranges from 30 cents to $1. While that's not a huge amount, it's important to remember that even coins in poor condition can still have some value, especially older ones like this. Now, if you're hoping for a higher price, the coin would need to be in better condition, closer to fine, extra fine, or even uncirculated. But in bad condition, your best bet is somewhere in that low dollar range. Also, keep in mind that while condition is a huge factor in determining value, the market can fluctuate. If you're planning to sell, it's always a good idea to check auction sites like eBay or consult with professional dealers to get a more up-to-date idea of its value. Even in bad condition, a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is still a piece of history, and for collectors, that adds to its charm. While you may not get rich off this one, if you have a collection of pennies, each coin tells a story, and that's what makes them valuable to the right person. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark. This coin may not be as old as some of the classic wheat pennies, but it still has a lot of value, especially when it's in fine condition. So, what's a 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny worth in today's market? Let's find out. The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. While the 1955 wheat penny in general isn't super rare, the value really depends on its condition, and today we're focusing on one in fine condition. So, what exactly does fine condition mean? In the world of coin grading, fine coins have moderate wear but still show most of the important features clearly. For a 1955D, you'll be able to easily see the image of Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse will still have most of the wheat stalks visible, though the finer details may be worn down. It's not perfect, but it's still a decent-looking coin. To give you some perspective, fine coins have some wear, but the overall design is still intact. This is a step above the more heavily worn coins that fall into good or very good grades, where the details are much more worn away. So, how much is a 1955D Lincoln wheat penny worth in fine condition today? Based on recent market trends, a 1955D in fine condition is generally worth between $2 and $5. It's not a huge amount, but for a coin that's nearly 70 years old, it holds some solid value, especially if it's well cared for. Now, if you're wondering how to boost the value of your 1955D penny, the key is in the grade. If you've got one in uncirculated or even extremely fine condition, you could see prices jump to $10, $15, or even higher, especially if it's in great shape. But in fine condition, you're generally looking at that $2 to $5 range. Of course, coin values can vary depending on factors like demand and market trends, so it's always a good idea to check online auction sites like eBay or consult with a professional coin dealer if you're thinking about selling your coin. Even though it's not the rarest penny in the world, the 1955D Lincoln wheat penny, in fine condition, is still a great find for collectors. It's part of an iconic series, and for those of us who love collecting Lincoln pennies, it's always exciting to add a coin from the mid-20th century to the collection. Next up, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. If you've come across one of these in your collection, you might be wondering, how much is it worth today, especially in good condition? Well, stick around, because in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. First, let's talk about what makes the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny special. This coin was struck during the final years of World War I, and it features the classic wheat stalks on the reverse side, which is part of the famous wheat penny series that ran from 1909 to 1958. A 1918 penny without a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, making it a standard issue coin from that year. Now, when we say good condition, we're referring to a coin that has seen a lot of wear, but the basic features are still visible. For a 1918 penny, you'll be able to make out the date, and Lincoln's portrait will be a little worn but still recognizable. The reverse, with the wheat stalks, will show wear, but the overall design will still be discernible. It's a step up from a heavily damaged coin, but not as sharp as a coin in higher grades, like fine or very fine. In good condition, the coin's design is worn, and you might not see fine details on Lincoln's portrait, but the basic outline and features are still visible. It's what we call a circulated coin, one that has been used in everyday transactions for years. So, how much is a 1918 Lincoln wheat penny worth in good condition today? Based on current market trends, you can typically expect a value of around $1.50 to $3 for a 1918 penny without a mint mark. While this isn't a rare coin by any means, it's still a piece of history that holds value due to its age and significance as part of the wheat penny series. Now, if you happen to have this coin in higher condition, like fine or very fine, it could be worth more, closer to $5 to $10, or even higher depending on the exact quality. And if your coin is in uncirculated condition, you might see values rise to $30 or more. But In good condition, we're sticking with that $1.50 to $3 range. Remember, coin values can fluctuate based on market conditions, demand, and even the coin's appeal to collectors. For the most accurate pricing, it's always a good idea to check auction sites like eBay or consult with a professional dealer to get a sense of the current market value. Even though the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark might not make you a fortune, it's still a great coin to add to your collection. It's a beautiful reminder of the past, and for collectors, it's always exciting to own a piece of history from the early 20th century. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you and next time. Happy collecting!